Let's see, what do we got going on here? Reverse. Oh no, is that the reverse? Yeah, that's the reverse. Nope. There it is. Okay, there we go. Hey cats and kids, Captain Zorik here, and yes, everybody, I'm wearing the mask. Yes, I know this isn't the M95, but I understand they're hard to come by. Yes, I know that this is better at stopping germs from going out than it is at stopping viruses from coming in. But I also know that I'm pretty much alone out here, and I'm out of doors, and there's a slight breeze, so I'm playing the odds, and they say it is safe enough to go outside on your own and breathe the air there. So, welcome to the Tuesday night sword fighting practice of the Crown Province of Ostgardr for the Society for Creative Anachronism. I will be your host, known in the SCA as Lord Ervald the Optimistic, and known to in certain other circles as Captain Zorik, and name given by my mom being Zorik Lakidra. Okay, so let me just explain what's going on tonight. Last week, the order to not gather in large groups close together came down from pretty much everybody with knowledgeable authority due to this whole coronavirus thing. So sword fighting practice was not going to happen in McCarran Park in Brooklyn. So I said, hey, you know what? Was there ever a time in human history in which we were better prepared for a time in which we could not gather in large groups with each other than today? And the fact is there ain't, because we got so many ways of communicating, both singly and en masse, that pretty much anything you want to say, you can say to as many people as you can get to listen. And it is easier to get more people to listen today than it ever was. So we're going out to this little playground here, right across the street from the Astoria Boulevard train station here in Astoria, Queens, New York. And I'm going to find a piece of turf that's far away from enough people. And I'm going to tape this phone to a post or something, just like I did last week. And you're going to get to see, and those of you who wish to do so can follow along as we engage in a practice training session designed for the sport of medieval armored combat as it is practiced in the Society for Creative Anachronism. And let's see, it looks like the same spot we had last night is available. In the meantime, why don't y'all get yourself a bottle of water, and because you always want to stay hydrated. You want to get yourself a little towel or something if you want to wipe yourself down as you get sweaty. All right, you want to be wearing comfortable clothes. Now, it doesn't matter if that's, stretchy spandex or loose-fitting sweats or shorts and a t-shirt or something. Now, those of you who have armor, feel free to put on the armor. However, here's a little caveat that we are going to be doing calisthenics, a calisthenic warm-up. And that means that that's going to include things like jumping jacks and jogging in place and push-ups and stuff. And so, if you are wearing armor, that may make it difficult to do certain types of exercises. You will tire yourself out. You could cause yourself shin splints and that sort of thing. So, if you want to put on your armor as the practice goes on, piece by piece, go right ahead. All right, now let's see. That ought to do. Okay, so there's no one around, so I am going to release myself. Yes, I hear tell that having a beard behind a mask makes the mask less secure than otherwise, so I may trim this beard down a little bit. Also, now that the inside of the mask has been exposed to the air, there's no point in putting it back on. But no, there is a point in putting it back on because, like I said before, from what I hear tell from good authority, that kind of mask is better at keeping your germs from getting out rather than letting other germs get in. And so it really doesn't matter if my germs are in there already anyway. But I also hear tell that these masks can be washed, but to be careful before using like a toothbrush or anything on it because you could wear it out. So, but hey, if anybody knows of a fashionable, stylish one, you know, those neoprene masks with the high-tech activated charcoal filter compartment thingies in there with like a hot rod flames or something on them, or skull teeth. Yeah, if anybody can tell me where I can get one of those, then I'll be jumping all over that. Okay, so this here sling is because of a rotator cuff injury that finally got the surgery it needed a few weeks ago. The sling officially came off last week, but for safety and so that I don't, accidentally move my shoulder in a bad way, I'm leaving it on tonight. So yeah, before you do any exercise, check with a doctor. Did you check with a doctor? I'll take your word for it. Thank you for coming. Let's start our warm-ups. Now, let's just start by just wriggling the fingers here. Let's get those fingers warmed up because using your fingers to move the sword is very important here. The wrists, of course, they're attached to your fingers. So, well, with your hands in between them. So let's get those moving. All right, so now let's move the elbow. Get the elbow all limbered up there. All right. And move the arm. There you go. Move the arm the other way. Okay, get that shoulder all limbered up. Take both your arms and basically slap yourself and give yourself a big slap hug there. Okay, up and down. There we go. Get that shoulder going. All right. Swing it around. Get your shoulders, get your upper torso twisted. Get your hip twisted. Get your waist twisted. Get your knees twisted. There you go. Put your hands on your knees. Get those all limbered up with your ankles as well. There you go. Put your feet down and kind of twist your ankle about there. There you go. And the other way. All right. Now, so everybody take a deep breath in. Feet a little wider than shoulder width up. Soften the knees. Now, just roll it down one goddamn vertebrae at a time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Everything's going to be done to a count to 8 unless specified otherwise. All right. There you go. Stretch it out. Feel that in the back of your thighs there, the backs of your legs. You don't have to lock your knees. Just hang down there and feel the stretch. Take the stretch to another leg. And back. Take the stretch to another leg. And back. Down. And now we're going to squat. Really get those knees limbered up. Really get those knees limbered up. All right. This time we're going to try to get the blood flowing first, then stretch out, then start doing sword work, okay? So, let's get a little jogging in place action going here. Let's see if we can get this angled down a little. All right, that's as good as it's going to get. Okay, a little jogging in place action here. All right, get those arms moving. Get those arms moving. Do a little 1-2 punch here. 1-2 punch to the sky. 1-2 punch out. All right. Now, high knees. Get those hip flexors activated. All right. Going off the balls of your feet here. Don't let your heels touch the ground too much. High knees here. And jog it out. And kick your butt here. Nice and easy. Don't pull your thigh muscles. Just warm them up. A little faster. Hand. Jog it out. All right. Now. Okay, now. If we had the space, well, we do have the space, but if you had the space, I would say jog in circles and stuff, and then we do push-ups. But we don't have space, so we're gonna do several different kinds of jumping jacks. 10 jacks per type. Here we go. Standard jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now. Clapping the hands in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now running man, both feet on the ground at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now crossing hands and feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, little hops. Watch this. Forward and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now twisting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, we're going to really work our core and our hip flexors. We're going to jump up and bring our knees up high with our arms out straight like this. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. All right. Jog it out. Bring it down. Hand. Feet nice and wide. Little bend in them. Straighten it up when you inhale. And bend your knees when you exhale. And in. One more time. And now, before you cool down too much, 10 squats. Any way that's comfortable, ideally with your knees not going over your toes. Do with your arms what you need for balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, 7 to 10 push-ups, doing them at your own pace. If you can only do 7, that's fine. If you can do 10, do 10. If you got 2 arms, use 2 arms. If you got 1 arm like me, just use 1 arm. You go all the way down. I'm still working on this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. All right. And now for the core and the hip flexors. On your back, bicycles. Watch this. Let's see if we can get this in. All right. On your back, feet feet up, one up, one down. Take your arm, elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now, let's jog it out a little bit. All right, and we're just gonna quickly go through those reps of jumping jacks one more time, and then we're gonna do a different kind of squat and a different kind of push-up and a different kind of core exercise. Then we're gonna stretch, then we're gonna get to the sword work. All right, hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Clapping in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Running man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And crossing hands and feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hand. Small hops. Forward, back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Left and right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twisting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, power squats. Watch this. We're going to go down and up, down and up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And jog it out. Hand. Going to do power jacks. What's the difference between power squats and power jacks? I'm probably getting the names wrong. But we're going to lift our knees on the up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now, I'm going to be very, very careful in doing the next kind of push-up. It's called a Hindu push-up. It uses a whole lot of different kind of muscles than a regular push-up does. So, start, butt to the sky, and dive down. Swim up, butt up. Now, if your shoulders can do it, don't let your chest hit the ground, okay? We're going to try to do 10. I'll probably do 7. You do it faster if you can. Down, up, and 6, down, up, and 7, down, up. I hate to be the guy who tells somebody to do something I wouldn't do myself, but anyone who's worked out with me knows that I enjoy doing those, not with a rotator cuff that just came out of surgery 5 weeks ago. Or is it 6? I lost track. Anywho. So, we've done that. Now, we do Hindu squats. Hindu squats are just like regular squats, only different. They break all the rules. So, first, I'll show you in three dimensions so you can get the idea. Start with the feet shoulder width apart, maybe just a little wider. Feet in parallel. Stick both your arms out, palms down. Start to bend your knees while pressing your heels into the ground, all right? But don't do like what you do in a proper squat, which is sit your butt back. You want your spine to stay in the vertical line as your knees go forward in the squat. All right, so here we go. And while you're doing this, take your arms and put them around and act like you're trying to put them in the back of your pocket. Okay? So, and 1. When you get to the point where you cannot keep your heels on the ground, lift them up and continue on your journey down. All right? Now, on the way up, swing your arms forward, palms down, inhale, and press your heels to the ground and squeeze your butt. Whew. That's 1. Let's see it without stopping. And okay, now let's see it without having to stabilize myself by putting my feet on the floor, my hand on the floor. There you go. Don't go too far down if you're going to lose your balance. Let's do 10 of those. And exhale down on the way out, way down, in on the way up. Like you're a bellows. Squeeze the air out, down, inhale it on the way up. What's that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Believe it or not, that's actually really good for the knees. I used to have a torn ACL, and I still have arthritis in the other knee. And doing that exercise along with others, and I didn't notice the arthritis pain anymore, and I didn't notice the torn ACL until, of course, I would twist it a little, and then ow, and I'd go down like a shot, so I got the surgery. So now, stretch it out. I'm going to start rolling down, count of 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spread your feet out a little bit. Take it over one leg. Okay, sorry about that, folks. We ran out of power there, but I have a Mophie on here, and I should have had that charging beforehand, but we're back, so let's get back to the stretching out here. We've already done the bent over this way, and we're going to do it with the knees so that our knees should be a lot more limber now. Okay, so we squeeze that out, straighten it up, grab on your ankles, feel all the stretches, roll it back up. All right, now take it over to the side. And take it over to the other side. Take it to the back. And link your fingers like this behind your back and put your knuckles to the sky. And we're just going to do a little flat back here. Go down so that your back is as flat as you can make it. Stick your butt out, that makes your back flatter. All right? Just stick your arms out. Go over to one side. Go over to the other side. And down. Roll it up. And stretch the inside of the thigh there. Note those straight leg. Foot is down, toes forward, stretching the inside of the thigh. Okay, now turn it that way. Make it deeper. Keep your back leg straight. Stick your arms out. All right, palms down, small circles forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Arms forward, down, lunge deeper. And straighten it out. Chest to your knee. Take the hand that's closest to me. Put it to the outside of the front leg. Pull that shoulder blade. And Lunge it down, turn front, toes up. There you go. Now, you're stretching the hamstring there. Stretch that out. Relax into it, breathe into it. And up. Now, quickly onto the other side. Stretch it down. Now we're doing the inside of the thigh here. Toes pointing forward. All right. And up. Lunge that way. And arms out, palms up. Small circles to the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And arms forward. Down. Straighten it up. Chest to knee. Now take that arm that's closer to me, wrap it around the leg, and stretch out that shoulder blade. Pull on your ankle there. And up to the front, lunge, toes up, and on the hamstring there. You don't have to pick your arm up if you can. And up. Okay. So, and now, pick a leg, doesn't matter which leg. Grab it, pull it to your chest. You want to loosen up all the fibers in your gluteus maximus there. Oh, got some kind of banner there. Oh, it's Facebook message. Okay, now, take the opposite hand to that foot and stretch the other way. Get that thigh pulled out there. All right? Really pull on that thigh, but not too hard. Just gently feel the stretch gradually. There you go. And now, the other hand to the other foot. There you go. If sticking your hand out makes it stand up better, holding your ear, go ahead and do it. Nobody's watching. All right. Good. Shake it out. Shake it out. Take water if you got it. All right. Because now we're going to get to what you're really here for, and that's a sword work. Okay. So. Let's see who's here. Who came back? Marcus, Gavin, Kristen, Maximilian, Ron, Adil, John. I cannot read your handwriting there. Andrew, Greg, thanks for coming back. So, let me show you the tools of our trade here. This is a sword made of rubber. We in the SCA don't use this. This is more popular in like boffer LARPs and just kidding around. So, but it does look like the real thing until you squeeze it, right? Well, instead, there you go. And that's why we warm up the legs. We may have to kick a basketball. So, instead, we use weapons made out of rattan, but still try to cut them down and shave them up so they're about the same size, weight, and balance as the real thing. Now, this here, I just took like 4 little pieces of garden hose and made the cross guard there, known as queons. And however, in our game, when people are hitting each other with these sticks, it's dangerous for these little digits here. So you have to wear if you're going to use a sword without any kind of guard over your hands, you got to wear steel gauntlets or really, really hard leather gauntlets or plastic gauntlets. All right? Now, this is the kind of guard I'm talking about. Made of steel or iron, bent and welded into place, and with no gaps in it, so no piece of rattan can stick in there, because the rules say your stick of rattan cannot be any wider than 1 1/4 inches. And that will protect your hand for the most part. It won't protect that, so you got to wear You got to wear a half gauntlet there to cover the back of your hand, but for the rest of it, you're pretty good. Now, this does add a lot of weight, and so that changes the balance of your weapon, and that will change how you use it and how you fight. If you don't want it to be heavy around the hand, then you can use this, a plastic basket hilt. Now, it is true that in the Middle Ages, they neither had plastic nor basket hilts, but this is a consideration for the sport to enable people to compete in it without crushing their hands. So I'm not going to be using this because you can't see my fingers, and I want you to see my fingers. So here you go. I'm going to be using this one. There are many different theories as to how long it ought to be. The one that I learned and tends to work for me is that if you swing your sword, you'll just trim the top of the grass. All right? But again, your mileage may vary depending upon how you want to use your sword. So we're going to start small and work big with regards to technique, and I'm just going to brush through it because we did a lot of this last week, and you can see the video on my YouTube channel, New York Knights Combat, or youtube.com/New York Knights Combat 1, because somehow that URL was taken already. So either search for New York Knights Combat or just type in youtube.com New York Knights Combat 1, youtube.com/New York Knights Combat and the number 1, and the most recent video is last week's practice here. So we're going to use this warm-up as an instruction period. So just run your fingers like that if you can. Try it both ways. Just see which is easier. There you go. Okay, now imagine you're holding a door handle, not a knob, but a handle, and it's horizontal, and you have to turn it to vertical in order to open the door, right? You just do that. Okay, you kind of can push down with your little finger there, right? Boom. Okay, that's all you're doing. All right, you're just turning that door handle there, okay? Now, you don't have to have a stick or rattan. You could have a baseball bat, you could have a lacrosse stick, you could have a broomstick, you can have a paper towel roll, you could have a pen or a pencil, although you'd rather have a bunch of them rubber banded together or something. But if you see, if you just pull your hand down like you were pulling that door handle, then that brings the sword forward with very little effort. All right? And there you go. And so you'll notice, now if you line up your sword so that the blade edge of your hand is in line with the blade of your sword, then squeezing your fingers will bring the blade of your sword into contact with your enemy. And whichever way you orient your palm is the way that your sword is going to strike. Now I'm going to put on my glasses so that I can see what you can see, if I can find my glasses. I can't find my glasses. So much for my glasses. I'll find them later. Anyway, so just give that a try. Just warm up your fingers there, all right? Tell you what, just do it without the sword for now, okay? Because we're going to have plenty of sword work, and I don't want you tiring yourself out. So just do that. Palm up, palm down, all right? Go from palm up to palm down. See how that goes. Just try that. Boom. Use your wrist, all right? Forward, up, forward, down, up, down, forward. Okay, so we've done that. Now, let's just say that we're holding a tray of soup on our shoulder, right? Okay, it's right on our shoulder. Our thumb's kind of pointing towards our ear. Okay, so our hand's got to be above the level of the shoulder in order to keep that tray off the shoulder. All right? Now, our theoretical target is that away, right? So that our shoulders are theoretically in a straight line towards it. Now, we're just going to turn our hand. All right, turn our hand as if that door is horizontal and intangible. All right, now that brings a sword, but it's not going to bring it all the way across. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by sticking our elbow out a little bit of ways, and then we're going to bring our elbow across. And when we bring our elbow across, we're then going to close our hand. So it's first the elbow and then the hand. All right? First the elbow and then the hand. Now people are going to say, use your hip, use your... We'll get there. Okay? One piece at a time. So elbow and hand. All right? Elbow and hand. And one thing to notice is there's some physical principles here. My shoulder's making a small circle. My hand is making a small circle. My elbow's making a big circle. And that's where, and the end of the sword is making a big circle. And that's where all the power comes from. Don't take up your sword yet, but this is what it'll look like. Boom. See? Boom. Easy peasy. Not a lot of effort there. Okay? So, let's just take a fighting position. What's your fighting position? If you don't know what your fighting position is, imagine you got your sword behind you and your shield in front of you, because your sword is a skinny shield. So you want the fat shield in front of you. So you're going to take your sword, your shield foot, and put that in front. Your sword foot, and put that behind. Let's not put it in a line, because if we want to step forward, we're going to trip over ourselves. Let's put our sword foot out towards the direction our chest is facing, just a little. All right? Say like about a foot's width. Now, we may not want to have it a perfect right angle. We want to have it a little bit more of a pizza slice there, because when it gets to pushing off with our foot, it'll make it easier. So, we're standing with our feet. First, the lead foot is straight forward, maybe just a little to the inside. The back foot is not perpendicular. It's definitely towards the inside, though maybe not quite 45 degrees. We're going to bend our legs. Don't let your knees lock. Bend our legs, keep it easy. Keep it easy. Bounce easy, because you want to be able to pick up your feet and move anywhere you want to easily. All right? Now, we're going to put our tray of soup on our shoulder. We're going to fold up our arm like a chicken wing, because we're holding an imaginary shield. And now we're going to move our arm towards our enemy. That's the strong movement, is the elbow towards the enemy. And then we're going to turn that door handle. Boom. All right. Let's just do that a few times. Nice and easy. Get the feeling of it. You'll notice your body wants to turn. Don't fight it. But we're not there yet. We're just noticing that moving the elbow through space and then closing the hand to turn that door handle is going to get us a lot of power. All right? We're just exploring that right now. Okay? Now, just try turning your upper torso, your chest, your shoulders. Just try turning that part, and you'll notice, if you do that, you don't have to use your shoulder to swing your arm. This is good if you've got a weak shoulder or some kind of shoulder injury, or you just don't want to work your shoulder that much because you don't want to tire your shoulder out. Okay, now we see that turning our shoulders enables us to not have to use our sword shoulder to move our sword elbow. But what if we were to turn at the waist? Let's use those core muscles. Let's use the muscles, your obliques, your lower abdomen, the muscles in your lower back. Let's try to get the power that way. All right? You're feeling that. Okay? Just feel that. Explore that. See if it feels good to you. See what muscles you'll need to work out to make that work. All right? Now let's try our hips. All right? Let's twist. And you'll notice if you twist with the hips, then you don't have to use all those other muscles we were using in the upper torso. So if your upper torso is stiff or not as flexible or not as strong in those kinds of muscles, or if you're just standing in a position where you can do this, you can use those big old hip muscles. Squeeze those glutes. Yeah, if you squeeze your sword glute, the butt cheek on your sword side, you can see that you can get a lot of power and speed into that. All right? Speed, just like the rats running around this park here. Welcome to New York. All right. So now, what if you were to push off your back leg? Just try it. Boom. Boom. Oh boy, that propels you forward, doesn't it? Pushing off your back leg really gives power to the twist, and you even want to throw your arm forward. I was keeping it close because someday, and that day will come, you'll want to kill somebody while you can smell his breakfast. All right? So, but what if he's further away? What if he is literally arm's length away? There you go. Swing that sword. I mean, don't swing the sword. Just push your arm forward. Propel your elbow forward and let your arms straighten out and turn that door handle. All right? So forward, forward, forward. Don't think that you're swinging your arm. That's a good way to get tennis elbow and other kinds of joint injuries. It's pushing forward, like as if you were to push someone in the chest like a bully. All right? Only you're doing it while you swing your hand. Okay? It's like that. Boom. You're serving the soup. You're turning the door handle. All right. Good. 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 All right. Shake it out. Now, take water if you got it, because I will. And I wouldn't say not to do something I'm doing. Here's a principle now I want you to remember. Every human body is the same in that most of us have the same arms and the same legs in the same places, attached the same way. But everybody's body is a little different. Some legs are longer, some are shorter, in comparison with their torsos and so forth. And some people just think differently. Some people's lives have caused them to build certain muscles more than other muscles. So certain moves may come easier to them, and certain techniques may work for them. Now, I'm teaching you some basic principles that work for me, and if someone else shows you different, then you can, instead of saying, that's not like what I showed, say, that's just like what I showed, except that. All right, go ahead, find what's different and what's the same between what I'm showing and what you're learning, so that you can build on it, rather than just dumping everything. Now, maybe somebody will come along and tell you to dump everything, and he'll be right. But until that day, please try to work with this. Okay, everything I say may be wrong, including what I just said. So, we've got our paper towel roll, our broomstick, our mop stick, whatever we got here, right? Let's put it back on our shoulder. Now remember, we're still holding a tray, so we still got the palm horizontal. And locking your thumb and finger into the OK, that's a good place to start. Other people will have other ways of starting it, but we're just going to start like this because it's easy to remember. All right? And just take the minimum now. Elbow in hand. Boom. Let's take it from another angle. Boom. All right? From another angle. Boom. All right? Boom. Notice how the blade is horizontal. And since you started just above your shoulder, that means that it's going to hit someone in the head if they are as tall as you. All right? Don't let it drift down. Then you're going to hit them in the shield, and that's pointless. Unless it's your strategy, but we don't have to talk about that yet. All right? So just do this a few times. Loosen up that shoulder. Loosen up those fingers. Now, at the very end of it, at the very end of the swing, if you keep a death grip, you're going to lose that last bit of magic. So go ahead and let the sword slip a little bit out of your top two fingers there. Okay? That'll get you that extra magic. That'll make the difference between the sword moving as fast as your hand and the sword moving as fast as it can. Just work with me on that. So, there. And so, we've got that, right? Now, step by step, let's put in the rest of our body. All right, and forward, back, shoulders. All right, just moving the shoulders. Just moving the shoulders. Just moving the shoulders. From the waist, just moving the upper torso. 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 The hips. Just moving 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 the hips. Now, from the earth, push off. Push off. push off, push off, push off, push off, push off, push off. All right. We don't want to tire ourselves out too much. There's the thing about the fingers I want to just show you in a little detail. I didn't talk about this last week. It is perfectly good and valid to get a death grip on your sword and actually punch them across the face, okay? But here's the plus and minus on that. You can plunge them across. Your sword will only move as fast as your hand. So, that means now force equals mass times acceleration. Now, if you're a boxer and you can throw a right cross or a left cross in my case so hard that it'll knock someone out and their shield's not in between you and them, do it. If they're open, go ahead. Bam. Use all the physics you learned in boxing class. Bam. However, if you are like me and you got the genetics, it means you got to work out like a fiend just to have average human strength. You may not knock them out with that blow. Also, a blow that comes straight. Most people, a lot of people, put their shield right there in front of their face. So a cross is going to hit them right in the shield. However, to the side of their head, it's difficult to get the shield up there unless you've got a funky shaped shield or you're holding it with your shoulder crunched up, right? Like those kickboxers do. But almost nobody does that. So you want to get the sword to the side of the head, which is why that extra twist of the fingers, twist of the hand, will get it coming straight forward, and that will hit them in the side of the head. So, which is why when shopping for gauntlets, you want to shop for gauntlets that allow you to move your wrist so that you can do that. I've seen folks in gauntlets that didn't, where the cuffs didn't allow them to do that, and I'd see them doing this, and they'd be cheating themselves, and it was just heartbreaking. So, moving right along. So now that we've mastered, or at least know what you're supposed to do, of the blow I call number one, the flat snap, the onside shot, we're going to move on to number two. So, number two is the most difficult thing for me to describe, all right? You got them in your number one, all right? I'm not tight in here, I'm not all the way out here, I'm just sort of like just a little ways forward, because it's easy for me to show that way. You let your fingers relax just a little. Now your sword's gonna come down and it's gonna be building up some momentum. Now, what you wanna do is you wanna get the sword to the other side of his head, but you wanna do it with force. So, you're going to take this elbow. You remember it's all about the elbow moving more than the hand. You're gonna take this elbow and you're gonna turn it over. Boom, like so. All right? To look at it empty, boom. Okay? Do it empty-handed now. One, and then turn it over. Boom. Now you remember what I was talking about, the knife blade of your hand? About it's the palm. You want to watch out that you're chopping them in the side of the head with the knife edge of your hand. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now put your body into it, it makes it a little easier, because otherwise it's all about the shoulder here, right? Boom. That's going to kill your shoulder. Boom, boom. All right, if you twist your hip back, then you don't have to work your whole shoulder quite so hard. You'll be using momentum and a whole bunch of other things. 1, 2. 1, 2. The hand does wind up a little bit above your head if you're doing it in a certain way, and that way your sword is actually going to be coming down over the back of their shield. And 1, 2. Okay? 1, 2. Well, over the back of their shield if they are opposite-handed of you. But you can plant it in their face by going 1, 2. All right, you see how I made it on a little swoop like that? Or you could get it just, if they're holding their sword like so, you could get it over the top of their sword, like going there, boom. Or you could just drop it in 1, 2. But the point is, you're moving the elbow. It's all about where's the elbow going. All right? 2. Let's do that. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. And the thing is, you're already set up now to do your number 1. Just bring your elbow forward and your hip. Boom. You don't even have to move your hand. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Your cocking motion is the previous blow. Your number 1 is your cocking motion for number 2. Your number 2 is your cocking motion for number 1. So it's not and 1 and 2. It's 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, let's do that. Nice and easy, everybody. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You'll notice I'm leaning into the number 2. That's because my hand is further back relative to my body, so I gotta lean in for it to get the target that's in the same place. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Shake it out. All right, now you've hit him on both sides of the head. What if he's blocked it? Now his shield's high up. Let's hit him in the leg. How do you hit him in the leg? Well, you're up here, right? You bring your elbow. It's all about the elbow. You bring the elbow on the hand. You bring the elbow down. You close your hand. Now, here's an important thing. For those of you newcomers, you're not allowed to hit him in the knee or below. You got to hit him above the knee. So, don't aim for the shin. Don't say, I'm going to hit you in the face, but really hit you in the leg. Aim for that leg. Boom. Use some other kind of fake if you want him to think you're not going to hit him in the leg. But from here, just go for the leg. Try to keep that blade horizontal. So we're going to go first, try it empty. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Just deliver it to that leg. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Okay? From the front. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And 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 1, 2, 3. Okay, shake it out. And now those of you who were with us last week, remember how we did number 4. Number 4 is to hit the opposite leg. It's tricky. It's hard to execute well, and easy to block, and you can see it from a mile away, unless you do it just right and at the right moment. Sometimes it's not about getting the technique right; it's getting the technique at the right time. So, hang on a second. Okay. Now, here we go. So, without the hand, first I'll show you with the sword. So we've gone here, and we've gone here, and we've gone here, right? Well, now we want to bring the sword back up and down, and then turn our hip, okay? So we've hit it, and now we want to open our hands so we can bring the momentum up, all right? We want to use our fingers to guide it up. We kind of want to pull our body back just a little bit so we don't hit ourselves in the face. We kind of want to pull our arm up just a little bit and get the sword over here. Get the sword down here. So that's horizontal again, and then put your hip into it. So, we've thrown our number 3, back up, 4. All right? We've thrown our number 3, we're pulling it back, we're bringing it over, we're flattening it out, we're hitting. Okay? And number 3, we're pulling it back, bringing it over, flatten it out, and hit. Here we go. Let's try it empty. 1, 3, back, 4. Okay? 3, back, 4. Okay? 3, back, 4. Okay? 3, back, 4. Now, you may have noticed that I did a little bit different every time. Go ahead and try that. Try to find what's going to work for you. When you get to do this, this is not a replacement for one-on-one training with an expert. When you get to have the opportunity to have one-on-one training with an expert, let them tweak it until it works for you. Okay? So, here we go. And we've done our number 3, pull it back, number 4. All right? Number 3, pull it back, flatten it out, 4. And 3, hup, 4. And 3, hup, 4. 1, 2 more. 3, hup, 4. 1 more. 3, hup, 4. All right, now let's put it all together. Empty-handed first. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And with your sword, or towel, paper towel roll, or pencil, or broomstick. If you're using a baseball bat, if you hold it upside down, it won't be so hard in your forearms. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Hanging high guard around your head to your shoulder. Now, this is just a kata. There's a million different ways to hold a sword. This is just to help you groove into it, feel the motion, learn the basics. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 From another angle. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, shake it out. Take water if you got it. Right. What time are we at now? My phone doesn't show the clock when I'm on live, Facebook Live, so can anybody throw out to me what time it is? Let me say hello to everybody there. Brian, Michael, Anna, Alex, Christian, Amy, Adrian, Alice, Lenny, John, hey JT, Rob, Lewis, Catherine, Mark, Corey, Greg, Andrew. Oh, look at the lightsabers there. I cannot read your handwriting, whoever you are there. John, Adil, Ron, Maximilian, Kristen, Gavin, Marcus. Thanks for sticking around. Okay, I'm pretty much alone out here, so I can't get anybody sick. All right. So, anybody know what time it is? Can anybody post up what time it is? Just in the comments section. Tell me, hey Justin, good to see you here. Thanks for joining us. Somebody tell me what time it is. Post up in the comments what time it is, please. Because this thing doesn't show me what time it is. All right. Okay, either none of you are paying attention or nobody knows what time it is. Well, this is going to be on YouTube anyway, and I'm going to use it to examine my training techniques, so I'm going to keep on going anyway. So, next. Oh, it's 8:08. Great. Okay, so we got about 22 minutes. Justin, 8:08. Great. Thanks, guys. Gave me confidence. I thought it was back. I thought I was kind of feeling like I was back at the radio station at the School of Visual Arts. Just think about that concept from a radio station at the School of Visual Arts. Anywho, so we're going to do the silly walks, and then we're going to work on some concepts of offense and defense. All right. So, silly walks, for those of you who don't remember, and for those of you who tried to forget. This is not the way you may actually fight, but it helps you get your body, your arms, and your legs moving together at the same time. There's a delay. Oh, okay, so it's really later than 8:08. Okay, thanks. All right, so, silly walk. Watch this. For the purpose of the silly walk, we're going to stand more square to your target than you really would when you're fighting, I think. So, let me just get this here. So, you're going to do your number one, and you're going to take a step forward with your sword foot. 1. You're going to do a number 2 and take a step forward with your shield foot. Boom. 2. Now, you'll be on your shield foot after you've done number 2, and then you're going to rock back on your sword foot for number 3. Boom. Then you're going to rock forward on your shield foot for number 4. Boom. Then hang the high guard and step into number 1. 1. Then number 2. 2. Then number 3. 3. Then number 4. 4. All right. I'm going to stand back so you can see it at an angle without me like. Whoops. 3. 4. 1. 2. 3. 4. I'm going to stand further back so you can see it from a good profile here. Together, we're going to do it slower, so that way all of you can concentrate on using. We're going to do it all together, but we're going to do it slower so that all of you can concentrate on getting every muscle right. Don't just throw the sword out there and catch it. Actually use every muscle to control the motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 rest. Okay. Now, if you live in a place where you cannot do more than 1 rep without hitting something, simply turn around with each rep. Observe. I'm going to start by going the other way. 1. You can just pivot right there, and that gets you where you want to go. Now, since most of you did this last week, and I'm sure you're all doing great, but yeah, that's the thing. I'm supposed to be saying, you're doing great, but let's face it, I don't know how well you're doing because I can't see you, so I'm honest like that. But now, we're going to start by doing 1, 2, 3, 4 on the silly walk. Then we're going to break out of the silly walk, and the point is, to step with every blow, but I don't care where you step, just try to step in a way that you're not going to trip over yourself. So try to step without, try to avoid cross steps, but rather leading steps, all right? Step with the foot that's in the direction you want to, that's closer to the direction you want to go. Yes, yes. Start with the foot that's pointed in the direction you want to go. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more for good luck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now break out of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, close enough. Everybody did that. Everybody got that. Somebody give me a thumbs up here. Somebody tell me if you're having a good time. Is anybody enjoying anything? Is anybody learning anything? Somebody let me know. Somebody, anybody, talk to me over here. I'm getting lonely. No, I'm not getting lonely. There's plenty of little critters. I'm not sure if I'm coming back here again because of all the critters that are crawling around here. But anybody have any specific questions? I'm going to take a break before we move on to the next phase. And if anybody has any specific questions there, I got hearts. Thank you, Lori. Lori, Frank, Drita, Benjamin, thank you for joining. John, Mike, hey, Rock Rockerson, how the heck are you? Michael Freeman, Gavin, okay. Thank you for joining me. Any specific questions, anyone there before we move on? I'm gonna take a few chugs, then I'm gonna check. If there are no questions, we're gonna move on. All right. Oh, my glasses. Gotta be around here somewhere. There they are. Okay. Found my glasses. Is that it? Yes, Mark. Mark Berlanga, thank you for joining. Yes, this is a Scadian sword because this is a sword fighting practice for the Crown Province of Ostgardr of the Eastern Kingdom of the Society for Creative Anachronism. But this being in the age of the coronavirus, there you go. I'm leading people in training and techniques. It's a lot of basics and a lot of beginner stuff, I understand, but you can never have too much basics. And so, let's see, what do you got there? Just telling me who's watching. All right, so here's where we're going to go. Now, I don't have a shield, so I can't tell you much about what to do with the shield, especially since my shield arm is still in this sling for safety because it's not fully recovered from the surgery. So, however, in the game of the Society for Creative Anachronism's Armored Combat, if you get hit in the arm, you got to fight without that arm. And heck, sometimes it's just fun to fight with one sword. So, what do? It makes for a skinny shield, so holding it out there and kind of hoping that they hit that before they hit you may not always be the best thing, but it's a place to start. All right. Now, let us say you hold it out there in front of yourself. Obviously, if a sword comes to one side, you're going to block it by moving it towards that side. If it comes to the other side, you're going to move it that way. And now you'll notice I did not do this and this. It's pretty obvious why. If I do this to try to bat it down, if I don't get it, if the timing's not right, bang, you hit me. And same with the other side. However, if I do this, my timing may not be quite right, but I'm still there, blocked, more or less round. You can block with the edge, which gives you a nice, strong, straight line in your wrist. Bang. All right. But now you're here, right? Now, What can you do? You've just blocked a blow. Well, think about it for a second. What blow starts from here?